Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
Hey everyone, this is Meg.
Hi there, this is Heather.
And we are the Bottle Poppin' Podcast. So Heather, what are we popping open today?
We're popping open a bottle of Purify. This is the cleansing blend.
Mm-hmm. It does smell very clean.
It smells very clean. I don't know that this is one that I pick up for the smell. I pick up for the uses.
Same. I don't mind the smell. So the smell to me is very citrusy.
Yes.
It's got like something underlying the citrus that I can't quite pinpoint.
Ooh, you want me to tell you the ingredients?
Yes, please do.
I think after I tell you the ingredients, I think you're going to be able to identify what you're unable to pinpoint. So it's lemon peel, Siberian fir needle, citronella grass, lime peel, tea tree leaf, and cilantro herb.
Cilantro.
So,
of course.
Yeah, I smell a little bit of the lemon and the citronella are the first two things that I get, but then I get a little bit of the underlying cilantro. doTERRA's website describes it as fresh, airy, and herbal. They don't write citrus at all, but I get the citrus that you're talking about too.
Yeah. So I'll share this one. Like, I definitely think it purifies the air. So like the name is really appropriate. And I have used it before, like when I have cooked fish or something like that, where it's got a lingering smell in the house, put this in the diffuser and it will totally get rid of any smell that's lingering. And it's interesting too, because it doesn't even necessarily smell like this. It's almost like it just neutralizes the air, in my opinion, when it's fighting against something. Like if I don't have a bad smell in the house, it might just smell a little bit like Purify. But if I do have a bad smell, it just gets rid of the bad smell, which is awesome. It's like what Febreze is supposed to do, but instead of, just covering the scent with a stronger scent, it's just killing off the scent completely.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of the top ways that I use this oil is by putting it at the bottom of the trash can. And so I will either combine it with a tablespoon of baking soda, and I'll put maybe 5 drops of the Purify just so that it's mixed together, and sprinkle it literally right in the bottom of the can before I put a fresh bag in. And in lazy moments, I have just gone drop, drop, drop into the trash can itself. Sure, it's not good for the plastic, but at the same time, when push comes to shove. So yes, odor removal, this is great for. I have dropped this straight into a toilet before if I don't have a room refresher in there. Mm-hmm. I have used this on laundry balls if we're washing something that it just feels like it will not get the sweaty smell out of, it seems like. So yes, I use this a lot for odor removal stuff.
Yeah, I've even seen, so in the Essential Magic book, it talks about using it for mildew. So that makes sense too. Like with the dryer balls, that would be really effective.
Yeah. And you can just kind of clean your surfaces with this too, because again, it's got the lemon, it's got the tea tree in there. So several powerful cleaners in this blend already.
Yeah. The other recommendation for this that's not cleaning related is for bug bites and stings. And ironically, I just yesterday was talking to a friend who was stung by a wasp over the weekend, and she still had the wasp stinger in her arm, and so I was like, let me see what oils, and this was a recommendation for that. So I was like, another great use for this.
Interesting. I'd be curious about her follow-up. So we spend a lot of time outdoors. And when the kids were young, we did something called forest school, where a bunch of parents would take kids out into the forest, and that would be child-led exploration. Sometimes that would be into tall grasses. Well, in Texas, in tall grasses, we get something called chiggers. And chiggers are little bugs that you do not see biting you, and you get home later and find out that they have bit you. Unfortunately,
not just one bite, but like multiple bites generally.
Multiple bites, little tiny red bumps. And unfortunately, where they like to bite you is not standard places of where you get bit by other bugs, mosquitoes, ants, even anything. They like to bite you where your clothes are tight. So on women, we get it underneath our sports bra line. You get it at your waistband. underwear lines. It is not fun. And we all experienced this enough times that we learned that every hour around on the hour, somebody would say chigger trek, and everybody would just kind of move their elastic bands away from their body and just kind of give a little bit of a clearance of those areas. The kids knew to do it. The adults did it.
Could you see them? Like, would chiggers fall out or?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It was more just like
tiny.
Teeny tiny. It was more just like, okay, let's just disrupt that area so that nothing is there. Sometimes that was effective. Sometimes we would forget and you just wouldn't do it as often, whatever. Every now and then we would get chigger bites. Chigger bites are terrible. Again, because of their location, they're so itchy. And so, I have tried everything. The clear nail polish I had heard was good for it. I have tried straight lavender. I have tried straight tea tree, which work good on other bites successfully. But for whatever reason, I just could never get rid of the itch for the chigger bites. Finally tried Purify, and it is the one thing that will take away the itch. And so the bites stay there for a couple days. It takes a little while. So several times a day, I'm reapplying the Purify. But for whatever the ingredient is in it, again, tea tree's in that too, but whatever that combination finally works.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know because chigger bites are miserable.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had them, thankfully, but good to know when I do. This is what I'll reach for.
Yes.
All right. Well, anything else on this oil?
So again, this is not one that I just think, oh, I want to smell Purify right now, but it is one that we use often around here. So I definitely think Purify is worth having on hand.
Totally agree. And I'll say as well, a lot of the times I will diffuse this one overnight because again, like I like to diffuse things because they smell good, and not that the smell's bad, but it's not adding anything to the house. But if it can clear the air overnight, so in the morning when we get up, I put, some fun diffuser blend in, I will do that as well.
I love that.
Oil you want.
That's a great recommendation to do it overnight. I've never considered just diffusing something in the kitchen or living space while we're sleeping because we're not out there to enjoy it. But if it's taking care of a purpose, when you're doing that, do you do just Purify or do you combine it with something else?
I normally just if it's for that, I just do Purify. If I am home, then I will normally add lemon to it just to get another scent. But going back to the overnight, there is a doTERRA person who's pretty high up, but she oftentimes will share like her daily habits. And every night she cleans her kitchen and then puts lemon in her diffuser.
So in the morning, that's what she smells.
Yeah.
Which
I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So probably not, it's not a bedtime oil. You don't want this in your bedroom necessarily, but in other parts of the house to just have them be fresh when you wake up in the morning. This is a good one for that.
Well, and I've said that I've dropped this directly into a couple drops into the toilet before too, if I don't have my room refresher spray in there. However, that bubble diffuser, again, sorry, I know we hate mentioning this because it's not.
You can't buy it.
You can't buy it. Or the wall mounted, the plug-in one. Now, both of those are our bathroom diffusers. They're so good. If they are, if they get released again, buy it as soon as you see it. Anyways, Purify, I've not thought about putting in there. And the current one we have On Guard in one, and then we have Tangerine in another. And Purify would be a really good addition to those too.
Yeah, probably, especially location.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good one. Go get yourself a bottle if you don't have it yet, because you'll, if not for bug bites and stings, definitely want it for cleaning air. So. All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thanks so much for listening. We will have a brand new episode for you next Friday.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.